It's good to know you're still there. It's good to know you're on the flip side of the radio. This is Real Woman reaching you on Capital FM 92.9, where women discuss issues that affect them. My name is Ojochide Enenche.
I'm Mercy Didam.
I'm Princess Obuji.
Friday, the 11th of October, was the International Day of the Girl Child. The theme for this year's International Day of the Girl Child is Vision for the Future, highlighting the importance of listening to and supporting girls in achieving their goals and realizing their full potential. This day aims to raise awareness about the issues girls face and promote their empowerment and their human rights. We have a beautiful lady in the studio.
With a beautiful smile.
Yes, so her name is Samira Galadima. She's an associate member of the National Institute of Public Relations. She's a girl child education and women empowerment advocate and the program manager at Ada Girl Education Foundation. Welcome to the studio, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
Wow.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's talk about the significance of the celebration of the girl child.
Okay. The International Day of the Girl Child was set up by the United Nations in 2001. And it was actually realized that there are a lot of girls that are left behind, and girls are so special.
You know, when you talk of girls being left behind, some people might want to know, left behind how?
Thank you.
Like, in what ways are they left behind?
Yes, thank you. That's very significant. They are left behind because girls they are not allowed to participate all the time in issues that affect them. For example, now, when we say girls are left behind, sometimes the parents, they send their daughters to go and work in other people's houses. You hardly see houseboys these days. You see them going to learn a trade or so. But these girls will go and work in people's houses, and with the money that they get, they'll be using it to train their brothers. So that is one area where they are left behind. In school, when the parents have to make a decision of who goes to school, the boy will be the one that will, because they believe that at the end of the day, the girl will be married off to another family, and she'll be another family's name, and she'll carry the legacy of another family. The most people that are survived victims of child trafficking are women. Because according to NAPTIP, a report that came out, 70% of trafficked persons were women and girls. 70%.
70. That's a huge figure.
Yes, that's very, very huge. We have over 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria. And out of that number, over 60% are girls. When you go to the classroom, there's gender parity. You see that there are more boys than girls. So these are the issues. That's why we're saying girls are marginalized. For example, now, I was once teaching in the secondary school before I moved to the university, and then I'm now working in the non-profit sector. So I realized that the girls don't even want to talk in class because they're afraid. We know girls, we don't want anybody to embarrass us. We don't like embarrassment. So they don't want to talk because they're afraid to get it wrong, and the boys in the class will laugh at them. So what you realize is that the girls, there are fewer girls in class than boys. And when you get to the university, the numbers they shrink. The numbers shrink. You have more boys there. So, and especially in STEM fields, because we tend to realize that, okay, if you want to study maybe architecture, then you now start thinking that, okay, so like now, if I have a friend that is working at FAN in the airport. She said sometimes the construction that they do it at night in the airport. So she cannot go and work at that time because she has to be at home and she has to take care of her children. So, but the boys on their team, the men on their team they have an upper hand over them because whenever they call them, because they usually do it at night because the traffic there is usually less, you understand? And even when I went to Lagos sometime, I realized that at the on the streets, once you see, when they want to do construction, they do it at night because there's less traffic.
All right. In case you just tuned in, this is Real Woman reaching you on Capital FM 92.9. And we're talking about the International Day of the Girl Child. What are you doing in your own little way to promote the education of the girl child? You can call in and be a part of this conversation by calling 0916 31 50,000, 0916 31 50,000, or 0705 353 8929. 0705 353 8929. You can call in and ask your questions, and then you can call in and also tell us how you're helping to contribute to the education of the girl child.
And
we all have and to protect them. So we all have a role to play.
Yeah.
You know, before we started this program this morning, I had a conversation with Abdul. And we're talking about a trending video that we saw online of a police officer who allegedly raped a 16-year-old girl in a police cell
station
in Edo State. And people are already calling for the arrest of the man, that he should be traced and arrested. Why should a thing like that be happening under their custody?
When they're supposed to protect the
Exactly, and we call them law protectors, law enforcers.
It shouldn't be happening there.
Because he had a uniform. He was wearing their uniform.
So can you imagine?
His T-shirt was on.
And that is the reason why we are advocating. You know, now there's the VAP Act.
Yes.
But recently, the Senate, someone in the Senate saying that they are saying that they want to repeal that act. That VAP Act is one that even protects
the rights of
the survivors or victims of violence. Of gender-based violence. So if you repeal this VAP Act now, what will happen to those people? Like this girl, what is going to protect her? Which law? You can't just say, okay, wait. You have to have laws that back whatever that you do.
And I had a conversation with a lawyer about this rape issue. He said rape cases are very difficult to prove
Exactly.
in courts.
Yes.
So if they repeal this act, so what would they now use against people who violate children like this?
Exactly.
It's really sad.
So you see, that's why we say that the issues of the girl child are of paramount importance, and we need to keep talking about it, because when we go 2 steps ahead, we're coming back 2 steps behind. The Child Rights Act was just, I think, domesticated in most states after 23 years, just recently states. That we have all the states. But now that we're celebrating that success, they are trying to repeal the VAP Act. So what are we doing? Are we not going 2 steps forward, 1 step backward?
So and the
more
issues,
than
1 step, like 10 steps backward.
Exactly. So we're actually going, because that's the law that actually protects them against that. And another issue that is of significance for the girl child is child marriage. We know that child marriage happens every day. And in Nigeria, Bauchi State has the highest number of child marriage. We have 73.8% of women that were that are aged between 20 to 24 that were married before the age of 18. 73.8% only in Bauchi State.
You know, most times people bring in religion as they bring in religion as one of the reasons why they carry out such act. So how do you now
reconcile the two? Because if the religion permits, if it really a particular religion permits them to get married at a particular age, how do you handle that?
Okay, thank you for asking that. The truth is that there's no religion that gives a specific date for age for marriage.
Okay.
Even Islam doesn't state that. Because there is nowhere in the books of Islam that says a girl should get married at this age. It is not there. So that's why most of us, what we're doing the activities, that we're engaging religious and traditional leaders in our activities. Yes. Because what we're trying to do is to change the major drivers of child marriage. It's not just religion, it's poverty and social norms.
Ignorance.
Yeah, poverty is very significant because, for example, now look at what's happening in Maiduguri, the flood. Look at the Maiduguri flood. So just imagine people are now left homeless, they don't have where to. So they tend to marry off their daughters to reduce the burden on the families. Social norms thinking that, that way, and some people use child marriage to pay off their debts. That's happening in the South. They do that a lot. So I think these are kind of things that are happening. So religion is not saying, there's no religion that promotes child marriage. It is just the interpretation. That's why we need to involve the ulamas, we need to involve the pastors, the archbishops, and to speak to the people and tell them, this is wrong, and can you show me somewhere in the book that says this? It is written. There is nowhere there. Because if you don't have it in the book, then what is your own, what is your backing? That's why we're even talking about laws. Because these are laws that guide our daily activities. And if there is no law that is saying that, then where did you get yours from? So that is why we need to be very deliberate in involving them in doing a lot of advocacy and a lot of sensitization and awareness to people, making them understand that that's why we're trying to see how we can get the country to get maybe make it 12 years of compulsory education, because the compulsory education now is just up to JS3. Wow. And a lot of girls get married after JS3 because it's no longer free and it's no longer compulsory. You have to pay. I'm here representing the Coalition to End Child Marriage in Nigeria. Wow. And we know that a significant number of girls that are married early are in the rural areas. Mm-hmm. So we have decided, we have realized that we cannot achieve our goals unless we speak to them. Mm. So most of the crises that we see, things that usually come from rural areas, why? Because we left them to care for themselves. If you don't take care of that, your neighbor's child, that child will come and haunt you tomorrow. So that is why whatever we're doing, we need to put them at the forefront. They need to be at the center of all our activities. So I'm happy that today is their day, and I'm happy, and I know that a lot of organizations are there celebrating them, giving them the right to speak, and helping them to amplify their voices. So that is basically, I think, what we should look at, give them a stage for them to speak up and let us amplify their voices.
Importantly, that's it.
Okay, so now how do we break this cycle of poverty?
Yeah.
Because you have said poverty is one of the major reasons why some of these girls are married off before time. So how do we break this cycle of poverty?
Empowerment. We cannot emphasize it more. Empowerment.
Who are we empowering
The
now?
women of the grassroots.
The women, okay.
Because if they are empowered, they can now make decisions. But look at, I'm sure you understand, you know that these are the kind of things that happen in families. The last born now today in your family, if he's one that has money, he's one that will dictate the shot. He's one that will be calling the shots. Your mom will not call you, she'll call him to hear what he has to say, because he's one that will finance whatever it is that you want to do. So if a woman does not have the funds, she does not have anything that she can buy, she can't start telling her husband, sir, let's do it this way. She can't do it.
You're right. I remember a story that was shared one time of a lady who said her dad asked her to withdraw from school because he couldn't fund the bills for herself and her brothers. So her mother, because the mother was empowered, the mother insisted that the daughter would go to school. The man said that would be on your own bill, that she was going to be the one to sponsor her daughter. And she agreed.
Exactly.
This woman was a petty trader, and she made sure her daughter went to school.
So you see, empowerment gives you voice. So the only way we can break that cycle of poverty is by empowering the people, not just giving them peanuts. You don't just go there and say, okay, you're giving them 5,000 naira, what do they call it, cash transfer. No, don't do that. Give them a skill. Give them something that they can start. That's why I think a lot of things right now are going, I think there was something I just heard that before you finish primary school now, you must have learned a skill.
Yes, you learn a skill.
So that's a very good one.
It's one of the new systems that they want to
So if that curriculum, because if that is actually implemented, it can go a long way. In secondary schools now, they do trade subjects. Before you finish secondary school, you must have learned a skill, either in photography, digital, I think literacy or whatever, things like that, fishery, animal husbandry and stuff like that. So, but the problem is that they just learn it in the school for the learning's sake. Some schools don't even have the tools for practical.
Practical is very important.
So we can't it's not all about theory. Practicals are very important. So if we're able to, we have beautiful policies in Nigeria. We have them very, very beautiful policies. Implementation. So if we could get that right, a primary school learn a skill, then I'm sure it will be fine. You can, while you're working, you can, and now we're lucky. This thing of the NEL fund, we're lucky that the government has bought the National Education Fund. So we're lucky that people can now access those funds. I have heard of a few people that have been able to access the funds. You can apply, and your school fees will be paid for, and you'll be given a monthly stipend. Wow. So I think that will go a long way in reducing poverty and increasing access to education. So that's a laudable thing, and I think we need to do more as civil society, do more programs at empowering the rural women so that they can have a voice.
Yeah, that's nice. So I think the women should actually be placed at priority in such situations, because most times when the men just go there, they just get to have everything their way and just get the access to the loans and everything. But I think if the society or the people in charge are able to give more priority to women who are willing to do, because I know when you empower a woman, you just know that your nation. And then you can actually sit down and you watch things just happen. She just takes charge. And she just takes care of so many things. So I think we need to even start from our homes.
True.
With our children, with our girl child. So you need to empower your girl child. You need to think out of the box, apart from sending that girl child to school. What can your child do? I've seen people
even learning a skill.
Yes, just tell the children during holidays they have a lot of time in their hands. Send them somewhere to go and learn something. And then come back with tailoring, baking. When they start, because there's a fun way of doing those things. And when they see it like fun, some of us were forced to do some of these things and we're just thinking, what kind of wala is this one? I don't have to do this.
Especially at secondary school.
Yes, secondary school. But when you see it as fun, something fun to do.
You enjoy doing
you enjoy doing it, and it becomes part of you. Sure. As you grow, it becomes a passion.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think parents will have a long way to go, especially the mothers. We need to do so much to help our girl child, and we need the support of the men. Men, are you hearing us?
And to add to that, I don't think you don't even have to send them anywhere, because you can actually, now that everything is virtual.
Yes,
like my daughter just finished her junior secondary school in August. I think it was June or so. So during that long holidays before she went back to to school, I made sure she learned a trade, and she learned it online. Wow. She learned how to make this resin arts and craft stuff. Wow. And before she went back to school, she had started earning money. I went and opened an account for her. Yes, she does. She has her videos, her YouTube channel, her Instagram account. She makes key holders and phone stands. Even pen, she took a lot to school for her friends, and so these are the kind of things that we need to do at these transition stages. When children are done with a particular set of school, like after primary school, before they join secondary school, after junior secondary school, before they join senior secondary, and things like that, we need to engage them. Don't just leave them out. If you don't want to send them out, everything is online. It's there. You can learn all of this online. And one significant factor for women to grow, women's growth, is support system. Yeah. You have to have a support system
that works.
Yes. So if it's not working, it's not even support. So those support systems we're talking about the men, our male advocates, our he for she's. We're looking at our fathers, our husbands, our brothers. They need to support us, because if they don't support us, there will be problem.
Okay, tell us ways they can support us, because I was going to ask. There are people who don't like. There's some people who have this mentality that the women, sending them to school is like a waste of resources, because at the end of the day, she get married, and after spending everything or all your earnings, your life earnings to train her, she becomes another person's property.
Well,
so tell us ways men can support us here.
Well, that's actually something that people used to think in the past.
Men
now know that their biggest supporters are women. Because fathers, go and ask them. Your child, a man, he'll come and drop you a bag of rice, or he'll send somebody to come and drop. Your daughter, she will cook and come and feed you. Your son will buy you material and come and say, take for salad. Your daughter, she will sew it and bring it. When you're not feeling fine, your daughters will rally around you.
And the men will be giving excuses.
They will beg their husbands. They will cry for their husbands. I have to go and see my father. My father is ill. And the husband will allow her to go because he understands that she needs to. So these are things that's in the past, though, that they now know.
I've actually heard some men say they don't joke with their daughters.
They don't.
I don't
now,
joke
these
with
days,
my daughters.
They don't. They put their daughters at the forefront, because there was one man that he's a member of the SBMC, that's School-Based Management Committee in Gombe, where we work. He came when we invited him for a conference here in Abuja. He came. He was like that. His daughters, that he doesn't joke with them, because he said he has like 4 boys and 1 daughter.
Oh my God.
Then those boys, he said they are in Abuja and other places, but that his daughter, she's the only one that takes care of him. He said the boys from time to time will say, okay, send money, whatever, but she's the one that connects the house.
The boys need to cater to the needs of their own families now. You get it?
Yes.
That's why
but we also have children.
Exactly.
We do, but
we're able to balance it.
The woman too has a whole lot to deal with,
exactly,
compared to the men. Because if the woman is married, or the girl child is married to another man, she has her husband to take care of. She has her father, her mother to take care of. She has her children and in-laws to take. So she has a whole lot on her table to handle, and then she's able to do that. And then the little support that you expect from the man, and the truth is, they just give the money carelessly, not even caring what is happening. And sometimes, in some situations, it's not all about the money. It's the love, the care, the attention. The presence goes a long way.
Sure.
I remember one woman saying sometimes back in the hospital, she was like, I wish I gave birth to all girls.
Oh.
Her husband was sick, he had stroke, and then
there was no
the boys were not there. The girls were coming from a different state to that town to see their father. When they come, they rotate. So they come, one stays for 1 week, as she's going, the other one is coming. Those boys, they were like, I think 4. All of them were in that same town. You hardly will see them in the hospital. And she sat down, she was like, the girls were 3 and the boys were more. She was like, I wished I gave birth to all girls.
Oh dear.
The father on the sick, if you see prayers, he prayed for those girls, like, even if they didn't give money, but they were all there.
Exactly.
So I think,
presence actually matters.
Yeah, it's the thought that matters. Yeah.
The thought, yes.
All right, in case you just joined us, this is Real Woman reaching you on Capital FM 92.9. The lines are open. You can call and be a part of this conversation. What ways are you contributing to the education of the girl child? 0916 31 50,000, 0916 31 50,000, or 0705 353 8929, 0705 353 8929. can call in and let's get to hear your opinion on this issue.
And I think our men out there, we need to protect our girls, because a lot of rape that you hear out there, it's done by men. So if you have to rape somebody's child or molest somebody's child anyhow, who do you expect to protect your own child? If you can do it to another person's child, you can do it to your own child. So we're asking the men, please protect every girl child you see.
All
Hello?
right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're
Thank
calling
you.
from?
Yes, my name is Ben, and I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, Ben.
Okay, Mr. Ben.
Yes.
Okay,
In fact, I'm very happy for this program this morning.
Thank you, sir.
So, girl child, a very, very important one. I was raised by my aunt,
Wow.
and we were 4 boys that she trained, and along with other female children.
Okay.
But then, we that are boys that she trained us with a lot of energy, a lot of commitment. And I grew up to discover that he is actually a man, like seriously a man. And in the way she took her time going to work, making provision for us, our uncle, I mean, the husband was not even doing up to what she was even doing. And all of us were living comfortably. We have never heard her complain one day, but we knew how she was doing all of those things just for us. And up to now, even now that I'm in the city, that I'm not with her again, I promise myself that my girl child must be trained and do even more exploits than her.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
And I will encourage every man out there to ensure they train their girl child, give them maximum attention emotionally, educationally, socially, or every area of their life, to make sure that they should not look down on themselves, that they can do more than they themselves, I mean the girl child can even think of.
Thank
They
you.
can be a source of encouragement to everyone. And I thank you all for your effort in making sure that you organize this program this morning. God bless you.
Thank
you
you so
so
much,
much.
sir. We appreciate you. All right, that's a he for a
For a
she.
she, yeah.
Thank you. Please keep encouraging the girl child.
And he talked about his own experience.
Yes.
And how he's going to do so much for his own daughter. So for the men out there, if you've enjoyed something, please give it out. You cannot always protect your own child and not protect the other child, the girl out there. Because I was talking about the rape and the molestation that we experienced today. It's done by men. So if you're protecting your own child, who protects the other one that you're molesting? So if you have access to the one you're molesting, please, somebody will do the same thing to you. So you should protect your own and protect the other one out there. And if you're able to help one to learn something, please do the same. And I think to go to more to that, if you're able to, if you're able to take care of your wife, because sometimes you run away from taking care of your wife and giving your wife the great support that she needs, because your wife is the first person you're supposed to support.
Exactly.
And then you're running to support children and empower children. If you empower your wife and you support her, the children see. The girl child sees.
And they'll benefit
they
from
benefit
it.
from it. So please, men, before the children, there was a wife. The wife birthed the children.
Of course.
So please, the wife should not be neglected. Don't humiliate your wife. Don't handle her anyhow. And then you expect to treat your child and your daughter better, because another person would do the same thing.
Thing you just talked about reminded me of the topic Princess we treated last week about men who feel that they will not allow their women to outshine them. Like you're scared that the woman might outshine you, so you don't see the need to empower the woman. And you not leave the woman because of your ego. You not allow her to remain where she is so that she doesn't get empowered. It's a very wrong notion. and we really need to correct it, because if a woman is empowered, there are times that even you as a man, you might not be able to meet up with certain responsibilities.
Exactly.
And this woman will have to step in.
She's there to cover you.
She has to step in to help out.
Yes. One other thing is that when we're talking about women empowerment, why men should support their wives and empower them. We know that it's a known fact that women have a longer lifespan than men. So if today...
this thing you just said, they will say we don't go through the kind of stress that they go through.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to make a point here. I understand. Truly, they don't. Truly we don't, because they have to provide, and sometimes we are what we have. When we have our money is our own money, but theirs is
all the times now. We all do,
but not as theirs. Sometimes we need to understand that it's not proportionate.
Yeah.
So, but the reality is that in this kind of situations, when a man dies, and you didn't empower your wife, do you think those brothers that you have or friends will come and support her? That is why people have been advocating, telling men that, I think in the military, so I'm not very sure about that you should put your wife as your next of kin. Because if it's not your wife, your brothers and all, they will come and take her. They will take everything and your children. But if you empower your wife, when everybody wants to come and say, no, we're not going to take her, they want to do gragra, she'll say, even me, I can do gragra. Because I have it all, I can take care of my children. I don't need
this program where we touch this matter of next of kin. These men want to kill us, and they want us to kill us.
Before we had technical issues this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we're going to discuss this topic next week on our Daybreak show.
You will hear a whole lot, and then a lot of men, not all, some men think that when you tell a man that you should put your wife as a next of kin for this kind of reasons, she wants me to die.
To kill me.
She just wants to kill me.
That's why I said it's research. I said that we have longer lifespan. It's not me that I say this.
But I think it's better when it's understanding. Putting your spouse as your next of kin doesn't mean you're going to die.
Exactly.
It's to protect your family, protect your children. It can happen the other way around. I think we had a topic that we had to discuss that the phone program.
Yeah, people were
it was
calling.
crazy.
In fact, a man even called and said his 4-year-old was his next of kin. They were like, how?
So before that 4-year-old child, there was a wife. So what you just think, and then if anything happens, that 4-year-old child cannot be able to do anything.
And what men don't understand is that these children are our children.
Exactly.
So if you give us those resources, or you don't give us those resources, we'll find a way to take care of them. One way or the other, our children, we cannot abandon
That's
them.
a woman for you.
We have to take care of them.
Mother hen.
No, they'll tell you that the woman will go and get married if the man
Even
dies.
if she gets married,
and then she will now use their resources, hard-earned resources to go and lavish on another
what about
man.
her children? They are still her children. She will have to take care of them. So that's the reality, and we need to also understand that women are very loving, because if you give a woman 2% of love, she'll give you 10%.
Thank you. Thank God it's not coming from us. It's a guest that is saying that.
Okay. In case you just joined us, this is Real Woman on Capital FM 92.9. Women saying it as real as it is. You can be a part of the conversation. Call in 0916 31 50,000. 0916 31 50,000. You can call and make your contribution.
Another number to call 0705 353 8929. I take the number again 0705 353 8929. Give us a call and let's hear what you think.
Some people are sending messages. Sorry, we can't read messages on this line. Just do well to call us on 0916 31 50,000. 0916 31 50,000. All right, you were talking about ways that the men can encourage the women, encourage the training of the girl child. So maybe you just speak to us more about it.
Okay, we'll have a call.
Have a call here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Uncle P. I'm calling you from Yarian.
Okay, Uncle P.
Uncle P.
Go ahead.
Permit me 1 second to off my radio.
Please do.
My sister, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
How's your work?
Fine, we thank God.
Well, I want to respond to 2 issues. The first one
Okay.
is the one that your colleagues say the women have longer span than the men. It's not correct.
Okay, please tell us the correct one.
The truth about it is, the man is older than the woman in the family. So because of that fact, there are tendencies that the older will die the younger one. If you put it like that, it's better.
Okay.
Because in most of the cases, very rare that you can say a lady that is up to 100 years of age. Very rare. But today I can give you 4 men that are almost 105 to 107.
Okay.
It depends on the state of mind.
Okay.
Now, let us leave that one aside.
Okay.
You see, the problem we have with our society about the girl child,
Yeah, we can hear you.
is to the fact that people have the belief that if you are training a girl child, you are training the girl for another man to benefit. It is wrong. Why I want to create that impression this morning is, my wife is somebody's daughter.
True.
The father trained her primary, secondary school, and university before I married her.
Okay.
The only place that her name changed to my name is in our wedding certificate. Does that one make her not a child of her father?
No.
Now, that is the problem with Africans have. Just like as I'm telling you this morning, I don't have a male son. I'm 55 years old. I have 4 girls. The first one is a Navy officer. The second one is an Air Force officer. The other one is a policewoman. And the last one is in school. Are there not men now?
You are blessed.
Honestly.
If you have 4 first ladies in your house, which other man do you need?
Abi.
If they are girls, you can turn your girl child to a male. You can turn your son to a woman. It depends on training. What is the difference between the man and the woman? It's just the area of giving birth, and that is all. Everybody is equal. So that issue of girl child, if I have more power, I will give people advocates about it.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you so
My
much.
daughter, my most senior daughter is 35. And up to today, if I carry cane up, she will kneel down and begin to tell me, Daddy, I am sorry.
Aww.
We don't think it is if she's a boy. At 18, if you carry cane up, you begin to warn you.
You
Daddy, take it easy. Even if you blow him, it will not penetrate.
All right, Uncle P, thank you.
So that is it. So everybody should be very careful when it comes about the girl child.
Okay.
Thank you.
The girl is equal to the boy.
Thank
Take care of your daughter. They are just saying, by the way, I don't even like daddy pass. Now they cut my finger, they wash my clothes, they give me body massage.
All right,
Thank you so much, Uncle P.
Thank you very much, my dear. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we have another call here. Hello, good morning.
We lost that call.
Good
Okay.
morning,
Good
presenters. Well done, you work.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Your name and where you're calling from?
It's a nice topic, and
Okay.
I'm enjoying you people going on.
Thank
All right, your name, sir? Your name?
Okay, my name is Pakristology.
Sorry, we didn't get that.
Pakris. Pakris is my name.
Okay, Pa Chris. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, can I go on?
Yes, please, please.
Okay. So what I'm saying is it's a nice thing to really take care of the girl child. And let us also know that in every advantage there is disadvantage. I've been hearing of training girl children. What about the male children? Because if the opposite way, if you train a girl child and don't train the male child, they don't have the same thing, because some of the advantages or some of the points I've heard how a man cannot do, a woman can do. It's because of the training you give to. When you train somebody, when you train, you equip the person.
True.
Men and men. A male child, train a male child in a male way, or in a man-good way, or let's put it, and you train a woman. God himself, who created us on earth, has not made a mistake for creating a man and a woman, and give different rules for to a man and to a woman. So we all focus only on female child, like the last person that spoke had only 4 female. If it was her own, his own request or his own thinking that he had only girl children, he took care of them. because he didn't have male. If he had had male, four male also and 4 male, which means he would have took care of only the female.
Yes. We're actually marking the International Day of the Girl Child. That's why.
And by the time the male growth begin to go different ways, it is the training you give to male, train the male child also. As you train the female child, they give them different right also.
All right.
That's how he created us. If we only say, because if you don't give it to the man, what it's vice versa. Let me come to that. It's vice versa.
All right.
Give a man his own training, give a woman his own training, and we move. Else, this was we are created as men and women. So now we have different women.
All right.
So,
thank you so much, Patrice.
appreciate.
All
Thank
right.
you
We
so much.
appreciate you. All right.
Okay, so I
have
think we
another
need.
call,
Okay, before
sorry.
we take that call, is this still
Hello?
there? Hello?
Hello, good
Okay, fine.
morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Muhammad Bawa.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much for bringing up this important topic.
Thank you,
And
sir.
yes, the importance of girl child in society cannot be overemphasized.
All right.
And girl child are special, they are precious, and I wonder even why are women competing to men or with men? They are special. They in every other way you want to look at it. So there is no even basis for competition or basis for comparison, if you would ask me. And for anybody who underrates or for whatever look down on female or girl child, is just being ignorant of what is supposed to be. They are to be supported. They are the most brilliant and most amazing people you ever see. And we must continue to protect them, support them, and give them all the best that is required. And your guest mentioned about next of kin, and then I know it's not the issue of
It's a topic for another day.
But, you know, some of us, the reason why we are not putting our spouse as our next of kin, maybe looking at the type of person we have and the kind of society that we operate.
Wow.
Sometimes when it comes to pursuing death benefit, it's like a tug of war in this country. And it's not something that you want to subject your precious creation to that.
Sure.
And that is why we try as much as possible to protect our women so that they cannot be faced with that kind of battle. Why? If we have a reliable men that can be able to do that. For me, I felt that kind of struggle is not for them. They shouldn't be subjected to that kind of culture. And that's why we are protecting them.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you very
Thank you. We appreciate your contribution.
Okay, so I think we need to make it clear. We are not talking about only training the girl child and not the boy child. We're actually celebrating and marking the girl child international, yes, for the girl child. And that's why
When
we're
the day
talking
of the
about
boy child comes,
we're
definitely
going
we'll
to-
talk about training your boy child. We've even talked about
Yes.
it here before.
So, Pa Chris, if you always listen to us, you know that, okay, we also talk about training the boy child too, because we, the mothers, are left with the children to take care of them. And then we have to do a whole lot of work with the boys. Otherwise, mothers and fathers, yes. But the truth is, they leave the men, the boys, the children with us. So we have much more to do compared to the men. But then we are all working together to build up a good society with our children. So we're just celebrating the girl child, so there's no partiality to that.
Yes,
So
and
it's an international day that we have to mark.
yes, and also the gender parity is there. Do you understand? So the thing is that we're advocating that no child should be left behind. Everyone should be trained, but especially girls. Because the numbers show that the girls are the ones that are left behind. That's the reason why we're talking about girls.
So
And like you
equal
mentioned,
opportunity should be given
to boys and the girls, because we don't want the boys. If we leave them behind, they will take up arms. So we can't leave them behind. We need to put them. We need to engage them in our activities. And Uncle P also mentioned that that the girls that we train women to be men. I don't think we should do that, because everybody should have their own roles. Women have their roles, and boys have their roles. So we should embrace our femininity as women and be a high-performing woman, not try to be a man. I think we should correct that notion that we're just trying to embrace femininity.
Yeah.
And
All right, we have another call here. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Gesa
Your name is what?
Gesa.
Gisa.
G.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
On, sir.
I'm happy for this program people have got.
Okay.
One, like the girls of I have a 5 children. Inside the 5 children, I have a girl.
Okay.
Because of my love for one of them, I sat them down one particular year. I said, everybody should choose what you would like to learn as a trade. Apart from the school year they are in.
Okay.
And that girl told me that she liked to learn tailoring in addition to her school. So I want to let you know, as of today, she has mastered the tailoring aspect. So I just in secondary school now.
Can you imagine?
And I asked her, before this international day of gay child, I asked her, what did she want to do? Which course do you want to go and read in the university?
Hello.
She want to read nursing.
Wow.
Nursing.
You're really an intentional father. Well done, sir.
Is what I'm praying that God will help me.
God will help you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
All right,
so
sir.
much, sir.
Thank you so much for what you do for the girl child. God bless you. All right, Samira, can we wrap up?
So thank you very much, The Real Woman, for having me. So
You were talking of ways the men can come in. Some of these men have spoken to us, and some have told us the ways they are helping their daughters and helping other girls around them. So can you maybe elaborate on this so that
Add something.
yes, I think the most important is that we shouldn't marry off our daughter unless she has early, of course, early, and even if later in life you
don't
should
marry her off without a skill.
Without a skill, yeah. So you should make sure that she has something that she can rely on. If her skill is her books, her education, her degrees, that's fine. Because some people are lucky in finding a job, but let her have something that she can do. Everybody has a hobby. Find out that talent that she has and help her amplify that talent. So the most important thing is that men should support women and women should support men too. Because a support system is very important. Everybody needs somebody everybody needs somebody or something to rely on. So let you be that person that will be standing as a rock behind that woman, behind that daughter that you have. Always be a rock behind her or just standing right by her side. So I think that's very important because I think it has been proven that most successful men, they have very strong
women behind them.
High-performing women. Right behind
Strong ones.
Yes, so I think that's it.
Princess has been itching to ask you a question.
So it was on the beginning part where you mentioned education. So I had written down this question. I was like, what innovative strategies or programs would you propose to increase access to quality education for girls in marginalized communities?
Thank you. So we understand that some girls cannot go to school because of the rules that they have at home, even though we're trying to see how they can be in school. But if formal education is not working, you can also do informal education. I know there are some organizations that have had classes for girls in the evening. So if maybe you have to do some morning chores and whatever, you can't go to the regular classroom, let us set up a temporary learning center. That's what they have in areas that they cannot go to formal school. So ensure that those temporary learning centers are working and you have the right, at least the most important thing is for them to learn basic numeracy and literacy skills. So it will even help them in their business, even if it's not going to maybe jobs, white collar, blue collar, whatever, white collar jobs and all, but at least they are able to read, write, they are able to help their business, they can write their receipts, they can track their payments and things like they can own a bank account and be able to, nobody would cheat them in that. So I think that is very important, even if it is doing it the informal way, but let them at least have the basic literacy and numeracy so that they can contribute positively. If they are women in agriculture, how are they going to, we will provide access to them to take out their crops from the communities to the market. So how are they going to that? They need to have a certain level of understanding what is written there. Okay, this is the amount and this is how it goes. So I think that's very important.
All right, thank you.
You really spoke
Thank
on
you
a
so
lot
much.
on this. We really, really appreciate you for coming to the studio. We've been speaking with Samira Galadima. She's an associate member of the National Institute of Public Relations. She's a girl child education and women empowerment advocate and the program manager at Ada Girl Education Foundation. Thank you so much for coming to our studios to educate us today.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm really grateful to be here.